Authorities in Utah are trying to get to the bottom of a strange mystery involving a series of puzzling antennas that have been discovered throughout the foothills of Salt Lake City. According to the local media report, the peculiar case began approximately in 2023 when a handful of the peculiar devices were first found. Since that time, and particularly over the last few months, several more of the gadgets have been stumbled upon to the point that Salt Lake City Recreational Trails manager Tyler Fanero indicated that now it might be as much as a dozen. In addition to supporting an antenna, the curious contraptions also feature a solar panel and a locked battery box. To this day, no one knows why, what, or how, or even who put them up, but I've done my own research and there are some articles linking these devices to crypto. However, there's not much evidence to really support that theory. The only thing for certain is that these devices were in areas of Utah that they should not have been. So, for example, one of these antennas was roughly found 7,000 feet in elevation up in the Utah mountains. The strange thing behind all of these antennas is that no permits were ever issued to have them installed in the first place. Furthermore, no one has even came forth to claim these devices, and no one has any idea who put them up. It even took a team of possibly 5 to 6 people to actually disassemble one of these devices, or antennas as you could call it, and it just makes the mystery even more mind-boggling than what it actually already is. There have been other rather mundane theories about these antennas. Some believe they form part of an amateur radio emergency data network. Others are convinced these antennas are meant to track wildlife. The problem is that no permits have been issued, so these theories remain in the air for now. And if that really was the case, and it was done by, say, a company, why wouldn't they take responsibility or even come forward saying, hey, we built these antennas, we put them there? Because to this day, over 2.5 years later, no one has taken responsibilities, and Utah officials are still finding these strange devices because people or someone or something keeps setting them up. These devices are made up of LoRa fiberglass antenna, a locked battery pack, and a solar panel to power it. The Salt Lake City Public Lands Department has been pulling them down as they find them and told KSL TV that there have been as many as a dozen. Now, in the first place, it's illegal to place structures on public lands without permission. And again, some of these antennas have appeared on steep peaks. Like I mentioned, one was found 7,000 plus feet in elevation. Now, one of the removals, like I mentioned earlier, did take and consist of about 5 people to dismantle it, but other antennas were also found on land that was managed by the University of Utah and the Forest Service, which kind of makes it even more just strange and bizarre that it would be on, the University of Utah's land. Maybe it was students. Some people have said it could have been potentially students placing these devices, but I wanted to say one thing in particular to everybody watching out there. Some of these devices cost anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 just for the solar panel. And as I was doing research, that's just for the solar panel. This is not including the actual antenna itself, which was a big, huge device, and including a locked box, which again, no one has been able to really link to basically anything. Now, here lies the unsolved questions. Why would someone be putting up these devices in remote parts of the wilderness? Some have theorized again that it's for like tracking wild animals or maybe used for scientific research. Now, that's just a theory I do not agree with, because if that was the case, then some sort of organization would have already claimed responsibility. But to this day, that has still not happened. And when I think about it, if a company or group was behind this, or an organization, like, don't you think they would have the means to acquire those permits? Especially when some of them were found in just the mountains of Utah, up in the wilderness, just random spots. Again, what are they for? What is the purpose of them? And why hasn't anybody taken responsibility? Because it's not just like an easy thing to set it up. Like, when you look at some of the photos and like an actual video of an antenna that looked very similar to the ones that were found in Utah, they're pretty big. And it would take at least a couple people to put them up individually. Now, you're talking about literally over a dozen, potentially up to 20 now in 2025, because there were reports that some more were found later this past year in 2024. That just kind of furthers the mystery of who the hell is doing this and what's the point? Because to me, I feel like it could be maybe used for illegal means, or it could be the government. Again, we don't really know, as nothing further has really come out about this. It's just a very strange and bizarre mystery that no one seems to know what, why, or, who's behind it. So what are all of your thoughts on this bizarre mystery, and what could this possibly be linked to? I'm very interested in all of your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment if you guys have any opinions and what you guys might think this is for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on another video.